Hey everyone, so today we have the Digitech DF-7 Distortion Factory. Now, I got this pedal about 20 years ago, and a little cool thing is it comes with a congratulatory note stating you now have one of the most powerful effects pedals on the market. Does that still hold up today? Well, let's find out. Anyway, the pedal has 7 built-in distortion modes. You can see over here there is 7 distortion models. Now, in with your pedal, you'll have your manual. So this manual is very descriptive, and not only does it tell you everything about all of the different effects that are on the pedal. As you can see, all of here, you've got level, you've got low, you've got your mid and your mid frequency, you've got gain, high, and then of course your distortion models to select from. Over the page, it tells you what these models actually are. So, number 1, we have based on the Ibanez TS9. Model 2 is based on the DOD Overdrive / Preamp 250. Model 3 is based on the Boss DS1 Distortion. Model 4 is based on the Proco Rat. Model 5 based on the Boss MT2 Metal Zone. Model 6 is based on the Digitech Metal Master. Model 7 based on the Electro-Harmonix BIG MUFF. Now, I want to get straight into the sound of all of these. I'm eager to get going. Another cool thing is you actually have the Encyclopaedia of Tone that came with this pedal. So that's pretty cool. It's something you definitely don't see nowadays, which is actual manuals. Every single different Digitech pedal you could have got, and all of the different setups that you could, and how to link them in with your mixer or your guitar or whatever else you're doing. Am I going to be using that? No, unfortunately. However, let's get straight into the sound of this. Now, I'm going to go into Distortion Model 1, which is that Ibanez TS9. I'm going to stop talking, just keep playing all through all of the sounds, and on the screen I'll put up what the pedal is. Down in the description I'll have a bit more information around what each one of these pedals are, and a bit more info about it then. Cool, I'm going to play through everything now. I'm going to leave everything, as you can see, at around about halfway, just for consistency. I'll adjust them a little bit because you'll see as you start playing around with that mid, you can get some crazy tones with this. At the end, I'll recap the pedal. Let's start with Distortion Model 1 and have a bit of a playthrough. Here we go. All right, there we go. I might have got a bit carried away there with the playing, but I really wanted to try to show all 7 modes with sort of enough time, I guess, for each one. Give them the airtime they deserve. Now, as you saw, or as you heard and saw, as I am playing around with that, especially that mid frequency, there is so much to kind of comprehend and so much range of tone that you can get for each pedal. Let's just go back to that first setting, the Ibanez TS9, which is a real nice sort of blues tone. Let's just see about here. I'm just gonna roll up, go into the middle pickup setting, just if I just roll up everything here, it's just gonna sound totally different now. Anyway, enough playing. That's actually not the best example there, because as you heard with some of those more metal tones on setting 5 and 6, it was crazy. In fact, that setting 6, the Digitech, either way, that's almost like a wah. It had that real quack sound, so there'd be so much to play around with there. I guess the overall verdict I'm kind of getting to here is this pedal still relevant today? Is it still worth it today? And in my opinion, absolutely. It's fun to play around with. The sounds are awesome. Playing live with it would be a little challenging just because it's 7 in 1. For home recording, for home playing and live jamming, look, you might have a song that you've got a blues rock solo coming up. You just mid-song turning into different settings is never really ideal, right? The funny thing about seeing just in my opinion, short 20 years is going from, you know, pedals like this with everything in one. I remember when this all came out and I went to a music show, it must have been like the Birmingham NEC or something. You go to this massive guitar show, there's all these guitars everywhere. This whole online world wasn't there back then. Of course there was still the internet and stuff, but it just was not what it is today. The reality is today for home recording, you can get this and more all in your door. Or, you know, you can get all these different plugins that sound exactly like this. If not better, you could argue, maybe not. Maybe there's an element to still having pedals that people like. So it's really up to you. I'm not here to give an overview on whether you should or shouldn't buy the pedal. It looks awesome. It's a classic pedal. And these things are going to be around forever. They're never going to lose their charm. It does sound awesome. Look, I just plugged into Ableton here and cranked it up and just went for it. I didn't think about any of the pre-settings. I didn't think about some pre-EQ, any compressors. I had a little bit of reverb on there, but a touch you can probably barely hear. And that of course doesn't come in the pedal, but with a pedal like this, you're probably going to be pairing it with some other stuff anyway. And if you've got a pedal board, it's a good addition. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think that a pedal like this, or specifically this pedal, is just irrelevant today and they are in the past now? And it's a relic that is nice to have, but you'll never use. Let me know what you think. Now I've got it, I'm going to be jamming with it. I'm going to rip a few solos with it for sure over some songs. Am I going to play live with it? Probably not, but I don't play live with anything other than my foot switch for my amp. That's just me. And that's about it. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll see you in the next one. Respect, everyone.